to Republican Senate candidate from Virginia, the former governor as well, George Allen, on whether that's got him worried. Now, we did request for his opponent, Tim Kaine, who's also running in the Senate contest, and no response from Senator Kaine. But what do you make of that when half the people in this country say it doesn't matter?
It does matter. Every vote matters. It's one of the reasons I got off the sidelines and into the Senate race. They passed Obamacare by one vote. They failed to rein in EPA's regulation of CO2 by one vote, and the president does matter a great deal. I'll tell you,
half Americans don't agree. Well, it strikes me as odd, but...
Well, it means that either folks aren't yet focused. Some of us, of course, are every single day.
Or they're bummed out.
And people are obviously very disconsolate, worried, discouraged about what's going on in Washington. And I don't think what's going on in Washington is at all worthwhile for families, for small businesses, and entrepreneurs. I think it is the responsibility of the candidates and the campaigns to lay out American people, here is my vision, here's my ideas, here are positive proven
Well, they've
solutions.
done that, right, Senator? I guess my only argument would be if people don't distinguish between the two of them, this isn't like Humphrey Nixon. I mean, there are big differences between these two.
Oh,
whether
sure
you accept them or not, they're not just a little bit of difference. They're big differences. I'm not saying Reagan-Carter differences, but darn close. And I wonder how people can be of a mixed mind that they're both the same.
Well, I think the campaigns need to lay it out. It's up to the campaigns to motivate and inspire people.
Do you think Mitt Romney's not doing it? I mean, in your state, he's having a devil of a time. You're polling better than he is. What's the problem?
Well, here's the thing I think that Mitt Romney's doing right in Virginia. I've been advocating, you know this, that we in Virginia ought to be allowed to produce oil and natural gas off our coast and use the royalties for roads and transportation.
Right.
Who's saying no? The White House, President Obama. Mitt Romney's running an ad in Virginia right now that in the first 100 days he's going to allow Virginia to produce oil and natural gas off our coast. There's a prime example for the voters in Virginia of a significant difference.
Well, there are a lot of critics of the governor who say that he's, even now, playing it still too cautiously. What do you say?
I think he's getting his message out to the people. And I think folks who pay taxes, if you want higher taxes, President Obama will give you higher taxes. We like more competitive, more fair, and simple tax laws. On energy policies, we want to unleash our American energy resources. The other side puts them off limits.
So when you hear President Obama come back, though, governor, senator, whatever, you've got a lot of titles.
George,
whatever. You can call me Neil, by the way. You don't have to call me financial factor. But do you think that the president's attacks on you guys is you go back to the same playbook, you know, low taxes, free the oil guys, and that he's going to remind people this fall, no, been there, tried that, done that, failed that? What are you going to say?
I'm going to say blessed in this country with the most energy resources of any in the world. And what they're trying to do is put those resources off limits. Folks in Southwest Virginia, where they're seeing that they're going to try to ban coal, people realize that's going to turn those communities into ghost towns. And in fact, in the Democrat primary in West Virginia, a prisoner in Texas got 40% of the vote, because even in West Virginia amongst Democrats, they realize that's a threat. So
yeah, but he was a hell of a candidate. You have to admit that.
Well, it's a heck of a protest vote. The reality is most people in Virginia that my wife Susan and I listen to envision a better future for our children and our country than what we're enduring these days, whether it's the health care monstrosity, whether it's taxes, whether it's counterproductive energy policies. And the good news is, if people listen to Fox News, they will be informed and they'll see there is a difference, and we'll get our
fair and balanced, all sides.
We'll get our country ascending again rather than diminished opportunities.
Senator, always a pleasure. Thank you very, very much. Good seeing you.
Thank you, Neil.
George Allen.